There are just a couple things we're going to touch on today. The holiday season and how you can help me, and an ocean update, because of course you have to have one. All right, the holiday season is 3 months and a half away. Now for those of you that don't Christmas shop until the day before Christmas, that's great. But for those of us who have to have stuff for you to shop for, it's getting late. So there are a couple things that we can do for you this year that we haven't really pushed. So I'm going to show you. Remember when I said we were going to think outside the basket? Well, we're going to think out into the box. All right?
Into the box.
And I have some examples of chocolates and all sorts of things. If you order 50 or more, you can have your name put on them. Okay? Now, yeah, we can do golf balls too. Chocolate ones. I think that something like this is really attractive. Google did it. It's got nuts and chocolates and chocolate-covered pretzels and all sorts of different things. And there are several companies that I deal with that can do this, not just this one company. Yeah, right. No. You can open this though. Actually, I'm going to have Mark open it. This is got an HP chocolate thing in the middle of it that they have their logo emblazoned. If you could open that for me and we'll pass it around. Do that. And then something like that comes with some chocolates or something around it. And these are sort of good. They've got fingerprints on them. Sorry, we had to sample. So the first 5 people can either cut one in half or they can eat a whole one. That's all you get. Those are salted caramels.
You want to be the last one.
That's right.
Can we open this?
No. No, that's, if you do that, I'll cut your fingers off. It's really hard to package. That's okay. Wait until he gets the bill. When you have something like this, it's a little bit different than my regular baskets. But you all know that I do custom baskets, so if you have something you want to put in a basket, we can do that. If you want to have your name imprinted on something like this, we can do that. And there are different qualities. I'll be really honest with you. That is not my top quality. I have some other vendors that are about the same price range that are really good, and they're from California. So it really depends on what you want to present to your client. All right? We can do boxes of snacks. We can do boxes of chocolates. I have places where we can get cookie tins. And if you order like 50 or 100 tins, we can put your logo on the tin. We can do towers. Remember that tower a couple weeks ago where I had 2 boxes? We can do those. We can put cookies in one and pretzels and make it as big as you want for however much you want to spend money. So what you need to do is think, do I want to do this? And if the answer is yes, let's talk. We need to order now so we can get a jump on it. One of the reasons we have to do it now is because of the economy. People are shutting down their production schedules. They're planning out, we're making 4,000 boxes of this chocolate, and sorry you have another order, but we're not making any more. Because they don't want to get caught with leftover product. In the chocolate industry, cocoa beans and things have skyrocketed, just like coffee. And because of the environment, cocoa beans are in jeopardy. So they're not going to make stuff unless they've got, at least the responsible ones, aren't going to make chocolate unless they've got somebody to buy it. Yes.
How long does it last?
It depends on the quality of chocolate and whether you keep it out of the sun in the refrigerator. So, you know, a chocolate will last 6 months, but if it's a good chocolate, it'll only, some of these people from San Francisco that make chocolates, Mark, dentist,
Mark, she next question.
Chocolates from San Francisco that are handcrafted, they only last maybe 6 weeks. So you don't have to worry about people having cavities. They'll just eat them all at once and be done with them.
You know.
Yeah, that happens. So, you know, it's not like we're selling glassware, pens and pencils, things like that. Oh, there's one left.
Yummy for you.
Yeah, we'll send it back around. So there is a sort of a rush for me to say, okay, we're going to do this and let's get going with it. I'd like to boost my bottom line so the IRS doesn't think I'm a hobby, if you don't mind. And I'd like to be creative, but that takes a little bit of time. So if you could just let me know if you're going to order something, that would be great. Okay, ocean update.
Can I ask a question on the chocolate department?
Sure.
About what we were just passing.
The small one?
Yeah, what kind of price range are you looking at?
In that you're looking around 30.
Okay, and what is it that it would cost to mail? Do you do the mailing for it as well, or no? The box?
It comes in a mailer. Some of the companies, if we give them a list, they will direct mail for us. It really depends on the manufacturer, and some of them just send us the product with the mailers, and you take care of it. So it really depends on who we choose. Okay? Are there any other questions about food?
Thank you.
Crystal?
One that had the Google on it, the nuts. How much is something like that?
That one's,
The Google.
it's probably around 60.
$60.
But again, that's just one manufacturer. There's a ton of things out there. So if you wanted to put health plans for less and the chocolate, and we can do something like that.
And then is there a minimum order?
Some of it's usually a 50.
50 is usually the
Yeah.
minimum.
And I figure if somebody wants to do something, I can always put a Grand Gourmet logo on it, and you can send out that particular thing. But then if you wanted to do like 2 or 3 of that variety, then you could do something like that. But 50 is usually the drop dead point.
Could you, I was just thinking if you wanted to split an order with someone and not put any.
Not put
name
anything on it?
And you could label it yourself.
Sure.
Put your own label on it.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the chocolate imprint.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you could say Merry Christmas on the chocolate imprint or Happy Holidays on the chocolate imprint.
Oh, I see. I was thinking of more the one with the nuts and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that this is really cool.
Or
And-
thank you, could you do like
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you,
and
or
then you
happy
give it
holidays
any
or
time
so.
of the year?
And those are all good products. I mean, we could all sit down and eat those right now.
Yeah.
But we're not going to. Because you're not the only one that's going to see this. Okay. Ocean update. Since I last talked to you, I'm actually starting to use Facebook. And I have a lot of friends in the diving industry that are very into diving still. They're famous and they're not famous, but they're still diving. And I also read a lot of magazines, and everything from scuba diving magazines to supermarket magazines. So these are some things I've learned in the last couple of weeks. There's a ban on crabs in the Pacific Northwest because they have neurotoxins. They have soaked up neurotoxins from this. Have you heard of that plastic island that's floating around out in the Pacific? It's a lot bigger than they thought, and it's harboring things that are creating neurotoxins, and it's washing ashore, and people are eating it. So one of my supermarket magazines said that there's a ban on crabs up in Pacific Northwest, which just blew me away. And that may go for oysters up there too. I can't tell you for sure because I don't remember, because I'm getting old. But that's one fact. The swordfish, certain sharks, are full of mercury. They're at the top of the food chain, and they eat everything, and all those little bits are just filtering up. So don't eat swordfish, and don't eat sharks. You know, it's that simple. And let people start hashing this out, because we are really destroying the oceans. The ocean is very, very warm. You've heard about El Nino. Well, around this area, last year they took about 500 yellowtails all season so far. This year they've had 2,500 yellowtails on one boat. That's a big fish, and they're going to overfish them, bottom line. There's probably 3 boats that have total have done 7,500 yellowtail in the 2 or 3 month fishing thing, you know, and they're coming up from the warmer waters, because we've got warmer water here now. So all of those things that are supposed to be down in the Baja Peninsula are now out in our front doorstep. They've seen opa, which are those huge sunfish like this, and they've got a little dorsal fin and a little, and they're only this wide. And I actually can say that I've seen one in Catalina, and I followed it for half an hour, and they barely move. And they're gorgeous. There's no reason why somebody should be eating that. I'm sorry. You just can't do that to that poor fish. They've also got a lot of barracuda. And those are definitely warm water fish, you know? So we're seeing this influx of warm water stuff. A lot of stingrays, so be careful when you go out in the ocean. And then what is blowing the scientific community away, I don't know if you saw in the paper or not, but we've had 3 oarfish wash up in the beaches in the last, I think it said, last 3 months. 2 of them in the last 3 weeks. Oarfish are probably from Dennis to Guy. Is that Guy? What a guy. They're a deep water fish. They swim at 2,000 feet. They like cold water. And there's something down there that's driving them ashore. And this is scary. I mean, Fish and Game are going, this isn't good, folks. So be aware. You know, start thinking about what you can do to save the ocean. My generation has screwed it up. And this is part of me paying back to say, let's fix it. But it's going to take a lot more than just me saying, let's fix it. We're going to be in some serious doo-doo if we don't. Okay. Any questions?
Did you see the report, and I forgot where this boat came from, they were just, I don't know if they were college students or they looked younger, but they were probably scientists out, that they were collecting plastic, and they were bringing in things that they collected. They were out like in the ocean for like 25 days and came back with all the plastic that they were able to capture.
No, I didn't see that.
And, oh, you didn't see that report? It was very interesting.
Yeah.
And they were actually very positive about what they can do to go out and actually capture all the junk that's out there and capture it and bring it back. And there was a lot of positive. I was glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's a good point, because there's all this stuff that goes into the sewers goes directly out into the ocean. And Huntington Beach people are aware of it, but the people that live in Anaheim don't get it. So if you have relatives in Anaheim, start beating on.
With an oarfish.
Yeah,
Yes.
the dead one. Yeah. Mark?
I didn't quite understand what you're saying about the crabs. What kind of crabs have the neurotoxin?
The Dungeness.
What variety?
Dungeness. The kind we eat.
At the restaurants.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I know. I know. Even with those little scrubby ones, you know, I wouldn't be caring, but you're taking away my crab Louie, you know? So,
What about king crab?
I don't know. I don't know. So there's, you know, and go ahead and research this and bring some information back to me. That's just one article that I
Do you
read.
eat fish at all?
Do I eat fish? Yes, I do. I know. I have divers that friends that they won't even look at a fish in a restaurant or a plate. But you know, it's just part of life. I glow in the dark, but you know. Okay. Thank you very much.
Cheri.